This clip shows video of a border breakthrough. The fence is called Normandy style. There's about 16 miles of this kind of fence in the Yuha desert just west of Calexico, California, and probably around 150 miles of Normandy fence on the border, often in places near highways and urban areas where it's very convenient for illegals to cross. It's pretty easy to cut through in places with a cutting torch, bolt cutters, and maybe even a battery-operated handsaw. It looks like they cut through this fence earlier and are just moving it now when they want to drive through. They would no doubt move it back into place if no one had noticed the break. That way you can potentially use the same cut fence multiple times. Of course, anyone can just hop over this fence too. Highway 98 is only 2 miles away, and illegals on foot can arrange to be picked up there. A fence doesn't have to be perfect. No fence is going to stop every illegal crosser. The better the fence, the more difficult it makes it for illegals to cross without being caught. The Border Patrol often says a fence is intended to slow them down so that they have time to respond and to channel illegal crossers into areas where they are more easily apprehended. A better fence requires fewer agents to monitor it and helps protect the agents too. They never know who they're going to meet out there in the dark, workers looking for a job or heavily armed drug runners. Now, if a 30-foot high bollard fence were built here, many would claim that you haven't built any new fence and haven't done much, just upgraded an existing fence. Almost all of the most important high traffic areas in the desert, at least, have some kind of barrier already, even if it's just the Normandy fence or the 8-foot high landing plate fence made out of junkyard scrap metal. But you can see that this fence doesn't stop anyone. It's just an invitation to cross. Now the vehicle is approaching Highway 98. You can see a big truck drive by on the highway in the background. The smugglers turn off on a side path, apparently to try to avoid any agents that may be waiting on the main road. 2 agents on quad motorcycles come out of the bushes and hurry to head them off. There will always be some yahoos who scale whatever fence you build to prove that it can be done and try to demoralize the other side. The fence doesn't have to do all the work. The Border Patrol is always going to have sensors, surveillance cameras, and agents behind the fence. The fence just has to make the crossing much more difficult and intimidate those who may be thinking about crossing. With 16 miles of Normandy fence in one place, there's no real limit to how many might try to cross at the same time and overwhelm the Border Patrol.